Good evening, it's Move It on Monday, and today we are going to be using the Valentine Kisses stamp set and dies. So we're going to make a cute little, it's very simple, cute card with this for, guess what, Valentine's Day. So let's get right into it. This is the card we're going to make tonight, and then there's a couple other cards that I made that use this set. They're not too difficult. Okay, so I'm using thick basic white card and thick basic white cardstock as well, and using real red on the heart, real red ink. And instead of the pink bear, I'm going to do it in smoky slate, I think it's called. Just 1 minute, I'll get it. And I'll be colouring it in with this, smoky slate blender pen. Okay, so let's get to it. I'll keep that up there so it keeps me knowing what I'm up to. I've just come back from a walk around the block and down beside the expressway. So I'm cutting this A4.5, and I usually measure it along this way till 14.9. There we go. Get rid of that, and so I just like to turn it over because when you cut along here, the cutting line goes downwards, so I like to have it on the inside. So I buff it up against this here because there's a bit of a ledge along where the ruler is, where that pops out, and then I just push it into there, and then initially just put that down. Oops, things are falling down, and then I just check that it's in the right place, and then I get my bone folder and press it down. So what I'll do is I'll get everything prepared first. Now I thought I would try a different folder for the background on this. So I'll cut everything up first, and then we'll get into action. Okay, so I'm going to cut the piece that I'm going to use the folder with. Measure it up first because I can't remember what it was. I think it's 13.9. I'll keep that for my inside, and so I go back 3, 1, 2, 3. I think it's 9.5. So I'm just going to check it out on this here, just to make sure I've got the right measurements. Yes. So I'll just go and emboss this. I'll be back in a second. So let's have a look at this. Put that down there. So this is what it looks like. So it's sort of a swirly design. I think it's called So Swirly or something like that. So that's part of that. And to do the heart, I used a retired set, but there's also a set that you can get at the moment called endless love, and it has some hearts on it if you buy the bundle set, all the dies. So I'm going to use this size here, and I'm going to use it on real red. So I've got a piece of real red all ready to go, so I'll just go and cut that. Actually, I could do it on the little one. I'll just give it a bit of a trim down so I can get this in. Just about need 2 desks to hold everything here. So I'm just cutting it down a bit, and then I'm going to put it through this here. So I'll just move this up a bit. It's going to go here, so you can see what I'm doing. So the mini cut and emboss is a different layout with the plates. So it has a number 1 plate, and it has 2 number 2 plates, and when you put them in, you stagger them, because if you put them in one on top of the other, they tend to, oops, what have I done with the die? They tend to sort of get stuck. So what did I do with the die? Oh, it's so funny. Wait a minute, must be somewhere. I'll just put that over there so it's not in the way. Oh, maybe it's stuck to the bottom. No. Just going to turn the light on a little bit. It's starting to get dark here. I wonder what I did with it. Okay, I reached over here. Oops, sorry. I reached over here, and what did I do next? I got that. Oh, that's new. One I've already done. Oh my gosh, what have I done with it? Unless I dropped it on the floor. Okay. Not to there. Put it under there. No. Oh, here it is. Gosh, silly owner. Right, so I'm just going to lay that in there a little bit, and I'm going to put the heart there, and the other number 2 on top of it, and then we're just going to give it a little bit of a push to get it started. There we go. Sorry, it's wiggling the paper a bit. So the mini cut and emboss is really good for small sections of cutting, and it's quite handy to have on your desk or your work surface, because it's not so big like the big cut and emboss. The big cut and emboss is really good for the larger, well, you kind of need it for them doing embossing. It's probably the main thing, and some like large nested die cuts and stuff. All right, so we've got that, and we've got that, and I'm going to cut a little piece. Across the front there, I think it was. Oh, I'm just going to check to see how much that was. So that was 1.5 centimetres for the sentiment. Righty. And what now? Right, we need to stamp the beer. I'm just going to see if that's too wide for that piece. Now, did I have another bit that was hanging around? No, I did not. Okay, I'm just going to cut that down. Actually, I'll measure it first because it might be just the right size for the middle. It's maybe the right size for the middle. So I'll just leave that and I'll cut this down here. So what I'm going to do, actually what I'm going to do is stamp the bear. I don't need that anymore. So I'm going to get the bear out. Now, as I was working today, I found, because of the new type of packaging and stuff, I found that you just got to make sure that you don't close the flap over like that when you've got your, because it's got a really thick piece of plastic on the bottom and the sort of flimsy one there. So make sure that you have that covering your stamps, because otherwise they will stick to the sheet on the outside. That's what happened there, and let's pulled it off. You don't want it sticking to the thing, so I'm going to get this one off and put it on like that. Doesn't really matter how you put it on, as long as it's covering the actual image is cutting out. Now I'm just going to try it out first. Yep, this needs to be all right. So stamp it down, and I just hold it for a little bit, make sure it's all the ink is satisfactorily on there. Right, so I'm going to colour it in with, oh, I forgot to get the, now some of my stuff is all mixed up. I'm not sure why that happened, because some of my brown coloured ones are in with the blue, so that must have happened from last time. So what I'm going to do, I'll just make sure I'm in, where am I? Here we go. I'm just going to colour in here, do his muzzle, and this is ivory, and ivory comes in a set of light and dark, I think it is. It's a while since I've brought this. It's one of the first things that I brought as far as stamping blends. So, and then you do, actually I might just use this end to do around the ear, because I'm finding that it sort of feathering outside of it a little bit, because the ink has travelled. Yeah, I just got to try not to go right to the edge, because it does tend to bleed over. It's like, you know, when you are colouring in with felt pens, you tend to go straight to the edge, but you don't need to with the Stampin' Blends. So the idea is that you're supposed to do little circles and stuff, but I'm not very good at it. It's one of the things that I need to perfect, I guess, or get a bit more experience in. That's probably the best word for that. Alright, and then you sort of, you go around the parts that could be a little bit darker. Here we go, and then sort of blend this in a little bit so it's not so dark. pull it out. I tend to sort of go around and colour it all in again. So I don't like the splotchiness. But I guess seeing its nature, it doesn't really matter, does it? And generally if you don't do a good coverage on the first one, you do a better coverage on the second, and the opposite is the other way around as well. So I'm just going to cut this down, and then I'm going to cut it, die cut it on the small cut and emboss machine. Okay, I get the die cut out. So on the die cuts, there's three different beer cutouts. One of them is, I'll show you. Oops. One is a little beer that you can. I'm just going to put it down a bit. Actually, no, wait. That cuts out this bit here, and you can put like a heart or some flowers, or what else is there? A honey pot or something, or a teddy bear down there. And I'll show you. I've got a card that I've made, and I can show you that. And then there's a bear. This is the Kissy bear, which we will be using on this card. And then there's a bear that cuts out a die that cuts out a bear at a kissing booth. So it also got a little teddy bear. I'm not sure what that is, but some banners, and a little setup with the kissing booth. A little heart there, which is so cute. You'll see it on the card later, and a little sign thing. That's the flowers, and this is the little wings. I haven't. Yes, I have. I've got one that I'm going to show you. But that's later once I finish doing this. So I'm going to set it up. Just line it up so there's not very much of a gap around the outside. And then I'm getting my my purple masking tape. That's very low tack. The one that you can get it. I'm pretty sure I got it at Mitre 10. Alrighty, so here we go. Whoops. Like I said, you have to kind of give it a little bit of a help along. A bit of wiggling. Oh, I can hear Mr. Whippy coming around. Let me just poke it out. Just get the. Oh, it's not very low tack today. Maybe because it's quite warm. Alrighty, so I'll leave that spare bit over there. And I'll put these back so I don't lose them. Do I need them again? I don't think so. I'll just put them away then. I find that if you put things away as you do it, it's much easier and you don't lose things later. Now if you see what I've done here, it must have slipped a little bit, and there's a larger white area around there. It doesn't really matter too much, but just try and avoid that. Right, so what we're going to do now is put these all together. Now just trying to see what I did with this one. I think I'll just glue it down again. When you're using embossing pieces, you need to put lots of glue or adhesive on it, because the contact with the actual place it's sticking on is not as much as it was just straight down. Okay, so just hover over the top of it and make sure you've got everything all sort of pretty much right there. Okay, so I'm going to stamp sentiment on it first. So I'm just going to use the same, oops, guess what I did? I didn't put the little, oh no, I did. Sticky. I'm going to put the same sentiment that I had before. Just going to flick it up underneath like that and then grab it like this, just so you don't make it all wobbly, because it's kind of thin there. Yes, I'm using real red on it. And you just dab it, you don't push it hard. And then just look through the, actually I'll just put it down a little bit. Oops. Yeah, just dab it a little bit, just because you don't want, so I'm going to stamp to the right of this, because I want the beer to be coming down onto, kind of making this grounding area. And I'll put that away. Now, real red seems to be quite juicy, so just be careful. And it's quite a high pigment, so that stains everything. Right, I'll just keep that over there. Now I'm going to place this, actually I'll cut it down. So I want it to, maybe I'll make it go right over to the edge. So that'll be 10 and a half. I'm just going to cut this down to 10 and a half. Turn it around. And then that will go right across the card, and it will go into the edge of the base card as well. Okay, so I'm just going to set it up. This last time, this one here, I'm not quite happy with how the beer is up here, and there's kind of a bit of a space there. I just want to see if I can fix that up. So I'll put the heart here. There, the words there, and I might just shift the heart over a little bit, maybe. I'll see if I can swoosh this over. I think I like it about there. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to glue the heart down. You might make some alterations on the go. So you could use any embossing folder for this. And there's probably one that's got hearts on it anyway. So we'll just place that in there. Right, and we're going to glue this down as well. So this is one of the glue, liquid glue that had run out. So I've been leaving it upside down, so extending it a bit more, so get all the glue out. So I've got actually 1, 2, 3, 4 glues like that at the moment. I've got them sitting upside down, just so I can use them again. So just line it up right to the edge of the base of the card base, and push it down. So it's going to be a little bit loose on this side because it's going right onto the card base, so that doesn't matter. And we'll just put our beer there. So I'm just going to put them slightly off the sentiment area. And I'm going to pop them up on some dimensionals. There we go. Now, what I did was I went and got this file thing from my other room, from my bedroom, to put all my stuff in that I need to use during a card class, and it's just chock-a-block now. So I'm going to have to declutter it. There we go. Isn't he so cute, eh? There we go. Now you can put bling on it if you want to. So maybe I will. Now actually, instead of using these little iridescent ones, I have got some metallic ones. So I'm thinking, what's that? Should we do that colour there? Maybe. So I'll just get my little tape tool, and it's got medium-sized ones and small ones. There we go. And we're just about finished. So all we've got to do now is to put the middle in. Okay, so all we have to do is cut it down a little bit on that side and to 9.5. And stick it in. And you've got a very simple card there. Easily done. And then I'll show you the cards that I did this afternoon. Well, I did one card and a card that I did the other day for it was a business, on the business creating with success, and we have to do different I don't know what you call it, activities for each week. It's on a Monday, that's US Monday, and you put your whatever is up. Like it was a card a couple of weeks ago, and then in October I won a prize for my skeleton planner. So that's one of the things I have to get onto. Yes, and I won't shut that up yet because I've still got. So I really love this. I think I like this better than the pink one, the pink bear. Okay, so I'll show you these other ones that I did already. So this is the one that I did for the Creating with Success. It's using the True Florals Product of the Month, DSP. And I just did it all in Night of Navy and Balmy Blue. So, and then on the inside, I just did the crossover thing again, just to copy off this. Now I got this off a template. Oh, actually I should show you the template. I got it. It's not on that one. Okay, so on the new It is the new one, isn't it? The mini catalogue for January to April. It's got some templates on page 17. So I think I used this to set this up with the offset DSP, and you could do with it with any colours. So these were, that's one side of the DSP and that's the other, so they kind of match. And I also, and this one I really, really love, it's so cool, did use this particular template here on a card that I made today, that has the bears on it, but I didn't quite get the measurements right, so it was a bit hard to put it in the envelope. So it's a square card. So I just love this. I used cherry cobbler, and I did some embossing down the side there, and then I used some of the traditional Christmas paper on here, the plaid, and then I used the two-tone old olive cardstock, and I just stamped on the honey pot. And then I got my my punch for the Be Valentine, which was from, I think it was from last year, and it's actually a bee shape, but I used it as a speech bubble, and I put love you on it with crosses and hugs. And on the inside I did sending lots of love your way to celebrate this special day, and I put honey pots, so little kissy marks and a little heart there. So I also put I did it in very vanilla, because that's sort of more of autumn, I don't know if you call it autumn tones, but subtle tones. And I put the two-tone cardstock at the back, just with the dark piece like that. So I just love this little bear holding the heart. It's so cute. And I did the envelope as well. So I sort of copied what I had done on the inside there. So really cool, really cool. What do you think? You like it? I do. So there we go. All right, that's all we have for tonight. So Wednesday night we will be looking at all the updates for this month. So we've got some new online exclusives. We've got the mini catalogue that's come out on the 6th of January. We've got product of the month I need to tell you about, and we've also got bonus days coming up. So I'll catch you then. Have a good night. Bye.